another video. This one is a vlog type of video. So I'm in the GTR today just because I'm at a point in time I just want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'm going to pick up t-shirts. I only have one box to pick up. It's early in the week. Usually, as I've stated before, I only do pickups for t-shirts if like I'm in a bind or if it's like early in the week. Because another option that you can do, I guess it's not really looked at too much, is doing FedEx Flex Express. So this also works, say if your local warehouse is out of t-shirts, right? But another warehouse in Philadelphia or somewhere else has the t-shirts in stock, you can order it and get it shipped to your local FedEx, and it's about $5.99 just to get it shipped there. And even though you can do that if your local one is out of shirts, I still use it for my local one because it takes me about a good 30-minute drive just to get to Alpha Broder. So it saves me a good hour or so per day. I usually just get it shipped to my local FedEx every day or every other day for $5.99. So that's a great deal to save an hour. And if I order it before 4 o'clock, it usually gets to my FedEx the next day. And most of the time at my FedEx is right in the morning, like 9 o'clock it's there. So that is a good option to consider. Check that out, FedEx Flex Express on Alpha Broder. I don't know about the other websites like that because I use Alpha Broder the most. Anyways, I'm dropping off a box of t-shirts as well. Picking up some vinyl at a local vinyl shop. So that's another thing, local vinyl shops. There's usually a local heat transfer vinyl shop in most major cities, even smaller cities now. Heat transfer vinyl is very known nowadays. So all you gotta do is go to Google, type in heat transfer vinyl, and type in the city that you live in and see if there's a local spot to you. So you can also do that as well. If you need heat transfer vinyl the same day, just go pick it up. But most of the time, heat transfer vinyl, I've always found it to be free shipping or very cheap shipping as well. So I usually just order and keep it in stock unless I am in a bind. I forgot, now I have the flip cam so I can see myself. This is my vlog camera that I used to use. I'm using it again instead of my iPhone. I have to wear a mask to go in the post office. Just doing a quick drop off. And then we're going to pick up shirts, and then I have a handful of tips that we can talk about. It's not really tips, more so frequently asked questions. That's what we're going to go over in this video. Printful versus Printify, that one's asked a lot. Don't know why, but we'll go over it. What else? Sizing dimensions for your t-shirts, designing t-shirts, a handful of other things. I'm about to drop off a box of t-shirts real quick. The trunk on this car isn't even actually that bad. Let's check it out. Oh, I need a car wash. See, it's not that bad. It's a decent sized trunk actually. Alright, now we're headed to pick up some heat transfer vinyl and some t-shirts. Okay, so I just pulled up to what used to be known as JSI signs, but now they are known as Perfect Press HTV. So shout out to them. I've been using JSI for like the past 4 or 5 years. I guess they're making a major move now because within like the past 2-3 months I've noticed them. I've noticed that they changed their company name to the heat transfer vinyl that I believe they manufacture. I've used it like once or twice. There's nothing wrong with it, but that is another question before we get into those other frequently asked questions. What kind of heat transfer vinyl do I use? I've literally been using Scissor or Caesar, however you pronounce it. Easy Weed from the very beginning. Never had any issues with it, so I've never had a reason to switch over to something else. The press time is usually about 10 to 15 seconds. I usually do about 8 to 10 just because I do a little bit of a higher temperature, a little bit more pressure. But I know there are other heat transfer vinyls that require less press, like 4 or 5 seconds, but I don't see a huge difference between 5 and 8. I see a huge difference between 5 and 15 though. So, but I've been using Scissor, Caesar, Easy Weed since the beginning. So that is another question that we just tackled. Anyways, about to pick up some rolls, and then we're gonna pick up some shirts. I believe it's just one box. If it's just one box, it'll fit in the trunk. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't plan on putting stuff in the back seat of my car. I'm not gonna torture this car like my last car. So yeah, I would have drove the 4Runner, but I'm just trying to enjoy myself, man. Leave me alone. Here we are, Alpha Broder. Been coming here for a long time now. Ta-da! Look at that Tesla. I like that wrap job. Okay, so here I am at Alpha Broder. There's that Tesla I was talking about. I like the wrap job on there. That's where you pick up. I guess while we're waiting, we can touch back on those questions that we had. No, my camera's about to die. No. I don't have the charger for this camera in this car. I was gonna get into Printful versus Printify, but that one's gonna be a little long, so I'm gonna wait till I get home. This camera's about to die. I'm sorry. Yo, I'm back. Alright, so the first thing I was talking about was Printful versus Printify. Really, this should be a comparison of all print-on-demand platforms. And which one is the best? To be honest, I really don't specifically see a best print-on-demand platform. They all have their pros and cons. The best way to learn more about them without getting your hands dirty is joining a whole bunch of print-on-demand Facebook groups. You gotta be careful with some of the groups. Some of them act as sales groups. So just join some Facebook groups, type in print-on-demand, and not necessarily just ask which one is the best. Go on to the little search field and type in whichever print-on-demand company you're trying to do research on. For example, Shirtly. Type in Shirtly production times. Sometimes you just scroll through. A lot of people just discuss the production times that are actually occurring. So that is one way to do it. Another way to do it is just actually get your hands dirty. Go ahead and give some of them a shot. Give some of them a try. See what the production time is like. If you really have to, is order samples. But to be honest, I rarely ever do samples if it's t-shirts and whatnot. I'll only do samples if it's some kind of new product that I'm just unsure of how it's going to look. But most of the time I've never done samples. But as far as which one is the best, that's still up to you to decide. I don't think there really is a best. I do prefer Printify over Printful because there are multiple different vendors and some of them are very reliable. Especially there's one that I used to use for mugs. I believe it was Spoke. It used to have pretty good production time. Sometimes the mugs will break. However, they will send replacements or refunds if necessary. So make sure you ask your customers for photos if there are defects. So that is one of the cons though with print on demand, that you will have defects. You know, quality control is not going to be as high. However, you're not as hands-on, so you're not having to do as much work, but you're losing on some of that profit margin as well. But at the same time, it is pretty cheap for it to be fulfillment. I know that sounds a little confusing and contradicting. However, there are a lot of variables that factor into pricing and whatnot that we can discuss in another video because that would take a lot of detail. So another frequently asked question is your sizing for your t-shirts and your print size. I know this is asked a lot because whenever you upload to most print-on-demand websites, it usually says something like 5400 pixels by 5400 something pixels. As long as it's 300 dpi, it's quite alright. However, I like to upload the file in the actual print size that is going to be on the t-shirt. For the most part, adult t-shirts usually range between 10 to 12 inches wide to 12 to 16 inches tall. So what you can do is design something 12 by 14, and you can take that file size and put it into the format that the print on demand website is requesting. However, I usually just upload the print size of the t-shirt itself. So in regards to t-shirt dimensions, so usually adult size shirts, size small, size medium, about 10 to 11 inches wide, medium and beyond, about 12 inches wide by 12 to 14 inches tall. So you're probably questioning yourself, are you going to want to change it every single time for each size? No. Go into Google, type in screen printing t-shirt dimensions, and you will see that they just use the same screen for all t-shirt sizes. Generally, I like to stick to about 12 inches wide. It looks a little oversized on a size small, size medium, but it still works out fine. And then when it comes to 2X, it fits just fine. However, 3Xs and beyond, it'll start to look a little bit smaller. However, it's not worth changing the size for it unless you're just focused on the big and tall niche. Y'all happy I said niche? Y'all little niches. It's not worth changing the size unless you're just focused like on a 2, 3, 4, 5X big and tall type niche or something. So stick to about 12 by 14 inches tall for the adult size shirts. And I've noticed it moves down about by 2 inches or so. When you move down to the youth sizes, it's about 10 inches wide. Then you move down to the taller sizes, it's usually about 8 inches wide. Then you go down to the onesies and all of that, anywhere between about 6 to 8 inches wide. And just keep the height in the original proportion that is scaled to the width of the actual image. Another frequently asked question: what font is this? What font is that? I get that asked a lot. Y'all send me DMs about what font is this and whatnot. Sometimes I'm able to identify it, sometimes I can't. What I can say is use this website right here, whatthefont.com. You can upload your picture and it'll find you all the similar fonts that look like that actual font. Sometimes you're able to find the exact font. Sometimes you can't find it at all. However, I will say don't stress it. Just use something that's similar to it. Don't always just try to go out of the way and find the exact font. However, if you really need to find the exact font, What the Font does have their own Facebook group as well, and you can post a picture on there, and there's a lot of experts in that group who just know all about fonts. So sometimes there are other people who's able to identify it for you, and that's just one way you can identify a font that you may have been looking for. So another frequently asked question is how can you get into design if you don't know how to make your own t-shirt designs, right? There are plenty of websites like Canva or Fiverr where you can get designs or design yourself very easily. However, I highly recommend you at least learn the basics of like Photoshop or Illustrator, because these skills are going to take you a long way, especially in the simple things that you may need to get done, such as resizing a picture. You don't want your designer to send you a picture and you just need one small adjustment, just resizing it a little bit or changing something very small. So if you have Photoshop, some of the first things I want you to learn is how to use the layers. Really, just drag, drop, see what kind of order things go around, click around. Another thing you're going to want to learn is the pen tool. The pen tool is very important. The pen tool is going to be mostly used to create selections, create objects, things of that nature. If you learn how to use the pen tool, you're going to be a lot more efficient in Photoshop or Illustrator. Before I even started using it, I just used to use the lasso tool, and I used that for probably like a good 2-3 years before I was like, let me try to use the pen tool. And another thing, just learn how to use the text tool, because a lot of t-shirt designs can sell with just text. I'm telling you, you can sell a t-shirt between 20 to 25 bucks. That's just text. One thing I do want you to know about text: it's very unprofessional to stretch your text. It does not look good. It looks very unprofessional. Make sure you don't increase one size too much and throw things out of scale. Whenever you resize text, make sure you do it in scale so that it's always in proportion. It looks very unprofessional if you scale it out of proportion. So those are a few things that I want you to look into first, and then slowly dive deeper into other tools. And one big thing about Photoshop and Illustrator or anything in design, there's more than one way to do everything. There's more than one way to cut a person out of a picture. There's more than one way to blur the background. There's more than one way to layer your text. You know, there's just multiple ways to do the same thing. So just because you learn it to do one way doesn't mean another way to do it can be wrong. That's just like the t-shirt business. There's different business models. There's different ways to build your t-shirt business. There's no right or wrong way. Just pick the one that works for you. So I hope these tips worked out for you. I was really trying to push more videos out. That was the plan once my kids got back into school. However, as we all know, majority of counties and states are doing digital learning. So I've been doing that, you know, family first. It's not hot.
It was the letter A. It snuck on in the middle of the night. Mohammed, when do you sleep? Do you sleep during the day or at night?
And as far as that heat press giveaway, Alex Tybalt, I hope I'm saying it right, was the winner. I sent all your information over to Heat Transfer Warehouse. They should be setting you straight soon. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Free heat press brought to you by Heat Transfer Warehouse along with $200 store credit. And why did I pause this right here? So what we're going to do, oops, I accidentally clicked something. Alright, what we're going to do is take our little old link. And we're going to bring that right over here. YouTube random comment picker. We're going to bring it over here, hit paste. And it filtered duplicate users, so some of you all who's been commenting more than once, that does not increase your chances in winning. Along with those of you all who's been posting your link, YouTube marks it as spam, so I had to manually approve your comment. But I went in here and did that, so you are in the giveaway. So let's go ahead and click Get YouTube Comments. Come on. All right, so 330 of you all have joined the giveaway. All we're going to do right here is click start. Here we go. Here we go. Whoa, that is a long. All right, let's go. Alex Tybalt. Forgive me. I'm a new sub. I love all the guidance. Blah blah blah. Oh, look at that. Stan Banks. All right, man. You're always all over the channel. T-Bone 1275. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out your Instagram, and let's make sure you are following both of the channels and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and check it out, and if so, you'll be receiving a DM. So congratulations to Alex for winning a heat press along with the $200 store credit. And I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for being subscribed and watching the channel. Hopefully I can keep on pushing out content for you. And I'll see y'all soon, real soon. I'm trying to get heavy on the videos, I promise y'all. So see y'all soon.